Good, we're all here.
We've done everything we set
Now,
out.
to get the stranded people out of Ashea.
The Tempest is on her way to install the Chimera's breath on the Scylla.
But we have the Chimera's breath now. The Tempest will never know what hit her.
Without the Chimera's breath, she doesn't stand a chance. I am Poseidon's chosen, after all.
What?
We'll surprise the Tempest. Barnabas and I will launch a sea attack. Using the Chimera's breath to disable the Scylla will be our best chance to get everyone off the coast.
With the merchant ships?
The distraction should buy time for them to leave.
Natakas and I will make sure everyone is on board the ships. This is our chance to leave Achaea.
Darius is right, Natakas. You should be on those ships, both of you. They're your way out.
What do you think, Natakas?
It's our only chance.
You have to take it.
We will.
We'll need somewhere to stay until then. Somewhere that won't raise suspicion.
I know just the place. A house on the hill near Dime.
Go ahead. I'll meet you there later.
Oh, you know what? I bet you... I wonder if I'd hit the other one if it just would have teleported me there, maybe. So anyway, hello everybody. Welcome back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. As you can see, picking up where we left off. Still got the bounty hunters after me. Yeah, I don't care. You can fucking attack me if you want. I'm leaving. Wow, look at all of the fucking people attacking me because I killed somebody who was hunting me. How rude. Alright, so yeah. We got the Chimera's, whatever, however the Chimera's breath installed. And it actually is an upgrade. It automatically, once I completed the ship to get the code, or once I completed the quest to get the codes, it automatically installed it. And it was upgradable, so I got it fully upgraded now. Because that wasn't bad. I also had 2, well, I guess technically 5 other quests pop up just to kill random mercenaries that the Tempest had sent after me. So I did that as well because I figured why the fuck not? It was just killing mercs. And yeah, nothing happened during them. Oh, I did forget to mention last part though. When I went and got that treasure, the guy who put it there, who keeps putting it there and is annoyed that I keep inadvertently helping him, he was actually there. He showed up at the thing. The reason I didn't leave it in is because I let it play out just to see what was going to happen first. Because I could have always reloaded and autosave from before I picked up the treasure. But it wasn't really all that important. I mean, he showed up and he's like, stop helping me. And it's like, I can't be in your debt. What do you want me to do? And Kassandra's like, kill the Tempest. And he's like, no, I don't think so. So you had the option to join his crew or just say, you know, we're good. Well, I just said we were good. I haven't asked anybody to join my crew in a while because I wouldn't bother putting them on anyway. And since that I had the option for him to join my crew, I'm going to assume that's really far away. There's got to be a fast travel point closer, right? Oh yeah, God, right next to it. I'm going to assume that we won't see or hear from him again because it would be weird if he joined your crew and then still had this interaction with you. But whatever, yeah, that's why I left it out. It just wasn't, like, it was a little funny, but overall it wasn't worth it for me to reload and wait and do it in video. So yeah. And as for the books, they weren't all that difficult to get. There was nothing interesting about them. You just picked them up and it literally just had, I think the quest was on my screen before I stopped the last video. It just had like the progress bar, so each book you picked up filled it up a bit better. A bit more. And then once it was done, it was just like, boom, you got it. It's like, oh, all right, sure. I did play around with it a little bit. A pirate attacked me on my way back from fighting the... Because I got the ones on the ship. Or on the 2 ships last. Oh, and I also destroyed the other 3 ships, and it did nothing. Like, literally nothing happened. It was just like, hey, good work. It's like, all right. So yeah, I mean, I tested out a little bit on a pirate. It's all right. I mean, you can ram them and then hit them with the fire if they're still alive. And it would obviously disable them. Because, you know, once they've actually caught fire, it just builds up fire really fast. And it just drains your fire bar, but it doesn't drain it very quickly. It's a very slow drain. Which is nice, because, like, I expected once, because once it equipped, it's like, oh, it'll drain your fire bar as you use it. And I was like, oh, man. But it didn't drain it, like, barely any.
He'll be back.
This house.
Cleta said it belonged to a friend of hers. He tried getting out of Achaea, but didn't make it.
I see.
There's something about this place.
And it's got a good view.
Place. Peaceful.
I know. Too bad we won't stay.
So, what's next?
We'll probably keep running, as always. At least there's wine.
At least there's wine.
What have you done?
Stop it!
That's how I grew up.
But seriously, your father is a very capable man.
He is, but emotionally, he is hard to open up.
It's hard to make friends for people like us. Living on the move as we do.
Oh. We've met each other.
To our friendship.
To our friendship.
Those are really big fucking cups, man.
Malaka.
Malaka.
God, I thought they had left already. You may recognize that engine noise
This
from the
reminds me of
Spider-Man
when we
video
met
that
in
came out
Macedonia.
yesterday.
We ate boar beneath the stars. It was the first time in a long time that I felt home. I haven't felt that since. Until tonight.
Then let's make the most of it. I should find Darius and the others. The stranded people are probably at the docks already.
Man, are they way over there? I probably can't fast travel while I'm in the middle of a dive, but... Ugh, they are so far away. And no fast travel point right next to them. You know, it would be nice, right, if... Because, like, they have horses at the majority of places that you go to, right? Oh, fuck off, mercenary prick. So, like, yeah, like, right there, right? We jumped off and there was a horse ready for me. And there is, that's at most places, especially in, like, quests. During quests, there's usually a horse nearby that you can get on. I don't know why they don't put Phobos there, right? Like, if they just put your horse there. It's like, you have a horse, but for the most part, the only time you need a horse, they give you one there anyway. So it's not very often that, like I want to ride my horse. Like, it's my horse, I have the skin on it that I want. You know, like, this skin is obviously a very basic one, but still. You know, it's like, I want to ride my horse when I'm forced to ride a horse. Like, if I have to ride one, like, I'm pretty sure in Odyssey, not in Odyssey, in Origins, I think they gave you your horse when you needed to ride one. Oh, look at all the...
Ella.
Fuck off, pigs. I fuck you, like... Oh, are you serious? Wasn't this the fucking path that he was gonna fucking take anyway? You get your ass over here. Oh, it was over there. Look at all the fucking animals on that road. Like, fucking hell.
Let's go.
I also don't know why he took this road. Like, where the hell did he plan on going? There's no road over here. The road stopped, like, a while back. the pigs are still the absolute worst. Mainly because, like,
Over here.
lions, bears, and that, they won't, in general, be able to knock you off your horse. Like, I don't think I've ever rode by one and they've knocked me off my horse. Pigs, every time.
My friends. It's probably the last I'll ever see of them.
The last
Oh,
time I
fuck
saw my
off.
Phil, we were arguing. We always did. I wish I'd told her how much she meant to me, how proud of her I was. Now that she's back, I'm scared I won't recognize her. Real connections with people are rare, Kassandra. We shouldn't be too quick to let them go.
I'm a Misthios. I can't afford connections.
I didn't notice that before. My left boot or greave there is split open at the back.
Captain! Hey! Captain! What's going on?
A massive fleet has gathered nearby. They seem to be waiting for something, but we don't know what.
The Tempest.
This ship, these people,
She knows. Somehow she knows.
they're going to kill us all in one swift blow.
We won't be destroyed. I'll sink every last ship.
How?
Barnabas, ready the ship for battle. And the Chimera's breath.
Aye, Captain! She's ready to go! Let's send this storm straight to Hades!
Natakas and I can handle things here. Good luck, Kassandra.
I have to stop those ships before it's too late.
Alright. I wonder if the fucking mercenary is going to show up. Because the mercenaries do have ships. Like, every mercenary, like, when you're being hunted, the mercenaries will just come after you with a ship. So I'm wondering if they're going to show up. I mean, obviously these guys aren't going to leave because there's still one more quest.
Chimera's breath is prepped!
Or, not one more quest. There's still one more chapter.
Barnabas, let's see what this thing can do.
Well, I mean, nothing at the moment because I don't have any firepower.
Forward!
So, I mean, I don't know how they're going to get them to stay, like what reasoning they're going to have. But I will say, like,
More speed!
talked about this a bit in the first
Come
part,
on!
where people are complaining about, like, the forced romance or whatever between them. And when it started, I was like, I mean, it doesn't seem to be really all that forced. But, yeah, they needed... I get what they're doing, but the DLCs aren't long enough to let the romance actually foster, you know?
Throw your spear!
I think they are going to ram us!
Yep, they did. I mean, it did nothing because I have max ship armor and health, but
Watch out! They're trying to hit us!
that's fine. They can try and hit us all they want. I mean, they can hit us all they want. See, look, like this is what it does, right? And of course, once a ship is actually like on fire, they
We need to brace or get out of the way!
they do just stop. Like everything shuts down as they try and fix their ship. I also like how you don't need to actually board the ship to heal, because I think it was maybe it was Black Flag. I remember there being one Assassin's Creed where like it had a very similar mechanic where you could heal your ship by board. It had to have been, or maybe I'm thinking of like the Sid Meier's game Pirates, where you could board the ship, and then once you boarded the ship, you could take the ship, take the crew, or use parts of the ship to repair your own ship. But I think it was in one of the Assassins. It would have had to have been Black Flag, right? Because like 3 did have the ship in it, but there was no boarding. It was a very basic ship mechanic. It was a really good one. So good that, you know, people asked for Black Flag. Man, you get a lot of fucking shit for ramming them. Alright, where's this Tempest bitch? I'll fucking go and Chimera's Breath the shit out of her. The nice thing about the Chimera's Breath is that it's in the front. So the only thing, I haven't tested it yet, but I don't think you can do it. It would be really nice if you could use it as you were ramming.
Captain! Another ship! Look at the size of that thing!
She's on there. The Tempest, Fila. She's on that ship.
Ah, it doesn't look that big. I've also never had legendary ships. Like, I remember reading something about having legendary ships in this game. Like, fucking hell, Kassandra. Why were you not in command?
Faster!
Oh, look at that. You can do them both at the same time.
Why?
Because you came fire!
God.
Keep it up!
Alright, that's it. I mean, she's getting her ass kicked, but I'm also taking quite a bit of damage. That's the one bad thing about it, is,
We need to move before they hit us!
yeah. Is with the Chimera's Breath, you get a lot of... Oh my, that's taken. There we go. I'm assuming they're going to force me to board this one. I highly doubt that they're just going to... Yeah. Like, I highly doubt they're just going to let me leave and fucking ram them again or take them down like that. Also, didn't see them use their Chimera's Breath at all, which is... Well, granted, the last... You know, we saw her test it in the last part and it blew up because she didn't know how to install it, but... Who knows? So, assuming I'm going to have the option of whether or not to rescue her. And I have a feeling I'm going to do it just because I highly doubt that Kassandra will be able to lie. Oh, that's got to be what's-his-face. No, I didn't even get that. Okay.
Hey, you okay? You need help? You need...
I don't need anything.
Tempest! Neither of us has to die.
You! Amorgus told me all about the Tainted Ones. It is not your fault you were born as you are, but it is your fate to die like the rest. I will do what the Order needs done.
Fila!
You! What are you doing here?
There's so much I want to say, so many things. Please, give me a chance.
You had your chance. You had years!
I had to protect you.
I was drowning. Who do you think pulled me out? You? The Order is my family. You are just a memory. My past.
You'll never be one of them. You're a tainted one, Fila.
What? I know what I am. Amorgus gave me purpose, guided me. I'm no monster. I am the Tempest.
You don't have to prove anything to anyone, Fila. You don't have to be the Tempest. You can just be you. That's enough. Can't you see that?
No.
We might be tainted ones, but that doesn't make us who we are.
No. I control my fate. I control my future.
Please, Fila. Let's just talk, you and me. Forget everything here. Come with us.
Greta, don't! She's too far gone. She's not your daughter anymore. She's the Tempest. I'm sorry.
I'll carve you from the face of...
Will you now? Yeah, look at you kick my ass right there. Yeah, you did.
An opponent worth my time.
Yeah? How about this? Oh, what?
Finishing this. You can't stop me. Face me.
Oh, what? The backswing caught me on fire. Go. Now she dead. Yep. Oh, achievement! Oh, right, because that would be the last one. God, so weak. Oh, wow, look at that. Both of those other ships must have burned up out there. I mean, she's still glowy, which is not something that usually happens. Go. That one. Let's finish that off like that. Usually if they're glowing when they die, they usually go out. Look at that, she's still alive.
Get up! Complete your mission, Tempest! It's the will of Amorgus!
We are not your enemies, Vila. The Order think they can control you, that you are nothing more than an instrument who kills on command. Be more than that. Don't let them take away your humanity. Stand and fight!
Vila!
There's no simple life for people like us. Only death. I always knew it would end like this. Forgive me. I should never have.
I'm proud of you. I always have been. Do you hear me? I've always been proud of you. You're my daughter. You always will be.
We'll go sailing again, Mater. Just like we used to. Just like we used to.
Father, the waters are open. We should get out while we still can.
My little girl. Mater's here. I'm right here.
I mean, so is there a way to save her then? Like, maybe if you let her go to, I see now the reason I kept her mother back because I've had a feeling that if I said like go to her, that she was gonna die. Like, just a guess. But I'm wondering if maybe if you knock her out, like if your final blow is a knockout instead of a death blow, maybe that plays out a little differently. Not sure though.
Darius and Atakas will be leaving soon. I should see them before they go.
Alright, where are they? So, why the hell? Judgment of the Lion. Wait a minute. What is... I thought it... Okay, hang on. Judgment of the Lion. This one. Warrior damage. Oh, that's the parry thing. Health restored on successful parry. Alright, so that's a warrior one. So I'll definitely need to equip that. Breathe underwater and overpower abilities. 10%. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a like a huge amount of like I don't really have any warrior weapons that are particularly useful, you know?
Darius and Atakas should be safe now. The Greek world can cause them no more pain. They can finally leave safely.
I mean, they're not going
Good thing.
anywhere. They're gonna stay because we still have one more fucking chapter to go through. Don't you lie to me. Unless there's more than 3 chapters. Is there more than 3 chapters to this?
We can finally go home.
You once told me of a dream you had. A simpler life. A small stall in the Agora, fishing with your son.
I remember.
Are you going to do it?
I might. Someday.
Boat sailing with or without you. It's now or never.
Kassandra.
Darius. So, this is it.
This is it.
Natakas. Darius. Sail hard. Sail far. And never look back.
I left you a letter, Kassandra. Said everything we couldn't. It's in Vime, in the house. Look for the wine!
I always do.
See, I feel like if they wanted to go this path, right? Like, if they wanted to go with the main character having a love interest of some sort, right? I'm also assuming based on this that if you're playing as Alexios,
Natakas and Darius are
Natakas isn't there and it's whatever his sister's name was that's there. Natakas is the dead one. Because from what I read, like the little bit that I read about this DLC, I assumed that they were both there. Just the way people were talking about it, but I'm guessing the way that the people that I was reading, like their comments and that, had either played through it as both characters, which is insane to me with how long this game is, or they played through it with one and they saw like a Let's Play or something with somebody going through the other. So I imagine that's what happens, but if they wanted to do something like that, right? It's something that would be very difficult to do with the way they made the rest of the game. Like, it would have had to have been something that took place during the main game, not in the DLC, because the DLCs just aren't long enough, right? Like, I can't remember, I think there's only 3 chapters to this DLC, but there might be 4, and even if there is 4, with how long these DLCs are, that's not nearly enough time to build up the relationship. Like, they really seem to be jumping past points, right? That would help them build their relationship or that. Like, it seems to be building a little bit too... Like, it seems to be building too quickly, you know? For how little interaction they've had with each other. Like, it's just... It's not that, like, I couldn't see the relationship happening. It's just, it's happening too quickly, you know? It's like movie relationship, right? Where it's like an hour and a half long movie, and at the end of the movie they're being married, even though they met at the beginning. It takes place over like a couple days, right? It's too fast to be realistic.
Natakas's letter.
Kassandra, I met you at a very perilous time in my life. We have different destinies, and I'm just glad ours intertwined, however briefly. Though it brings sadness to untangle from that thread, I wish you nothing but the best in whatever lies next. I know my father feels the same way. Maybe it's only on my part, but it's been a long time since I've had someone I could call a friend. Maybe more. I'm afraid that I'll never find that again, but, well, at least there's wine. Okay. And then they show up at the house. Because they didn't really leave.
Not Takas.
See, like, she shouldn't be this upset about it. Like, they weren't... Like, he wasn't around long enough for this kind of a reaction, right? Like, or is it just me? Like, now I'm kind of, like, because, like, when I read about this and whatnot before, and, like, the way people were bitching about it, because there he is, I was like, I mean, that makes sense. But no, like, I understand now. Because, like, I had this
At least there's wine.
playing out a different way in my head.
With people are rare, Kassandra. We shouldn't be too quick to let them go.
Because, like, here's the thing, though, right? Like, a lot of my, like, people were bitching about Natakis, saying that he was, like, really clingy or something. I didn't find that. I felt like I didn't find that he was clingy, but I can understand where people would get that because of how fast the relationship seemed to progress. Because after playing through the whole game as Kassandra, even the points where you had people that you had relationships with that you enjoyed spending time with and that, she had a certain way about her, right? And, like, during this, it just kind of skipped that, which didn't make a huge amount of sense, right? So I feel like that's where people are getting, like, he's clingy. That it's like, he's not being clingy. They just skipped large portions of their time together or something. Or they just didn't give them enough time together for the progress of their relationship to make sense, which does make him come off a little clingy, but not a huge amount, right? So, yeah, I can understand where people who actually cared about whether or not their character was straight would come to it. Because, like, when I first read it, right, and whatnot, I really did expect there just to be, I don't know, like, a different way this played out. And, like, the reason I picked some of the options I did, because, like I said, I have nothing against Natakis. He seems like a good guy. But it's just like,
I wonder if Darius has kept watch all night. Better say good morning.
but I don't know. It, like I said, it does seem a little forced. And the fact that they forced the romance part of it, right? It's not that they, I don't know. It's just weird. I can understand. I think people still got way more bitchy about it than they should have. But
the smell of the ocean. Why should I sleep? I'd miss it, Kassandra.
you can sleep with your window
I'd
open.
miss all of it. The hungrous warrior in the Greek world has ravaged our milk and bread supplies again.
Already? I restocked less than a week ago.
His appetite may consume us all.
More milk and bread it is then. I'll go by the usual.
Double. But here. I was supposed to pass these to the merchant, but I got carried away with the,
He has that effect on people. I'll deliver this for us and, buy double the usual. The Agora should already be open. Be home soon.
Yeah, in case you're missing the not so subtle hints there.
Milk and bread coming, right?
Kassandra now as a kid. Which is what everybody was bitching about, right? It's like, because like I said, when I first heard about it, right, it was like, they forced, it's like, I was playing my character as a lesbian or as a gay guy, and they forced me into a straight relationship. And then I kept reading, it's like, I bet they needed to have a kid for something. I'm like, all right, to continue the bloodline, right, is the thing that I heard, right? Like, they needed to have that relationship so that they could continue the bloodline. So to me, when I read that without playing the DLC, I was like, all right, so when you meet your birth father or your biological father, what's his face, down in Atlantis, he's like, there was no love between me and your mother. It was just so that our bloodline could continue. I assumed, based on the fact that they had that in the game already, like they had established that that's where Kassandra and Alexios came from, whereas just purely continuing the bloodline, I assumed that that's how this was going to play out. But it wasn't. They made no mention, like, Tainted One means that you have the
Kassandra!
blood, right?
How's my favorite customer?
But they made no mention of
Hungry
Darius or
and tired.
Natakis having that.
It was the same for me. Enjoy these years.
I will. I am. Anyway, here's what Darius owes you. We'll need double the usual. Milk and bread, please.
About the bread. I ran out of wheat. I was supposed to fetch some from the farmer down the road. Perhaps you could help me with that.
I'll help you, but I expect to pay a few drachmi less for my order.
You drive a hard bargain. But you got it.
I'll be back from the farm soon. It's not too far away. Ugh, how could this fish be so stale? We live by the sea.
But yeah, so like that's like going into it, that's what I kind of expected. But like as it progressed, like in the first part, they didn't really show that much of Kassandra having any kind of feeling for Natakis. They did show a little bit of Natakis falling for Kassandra, but not a huge amount. But they really drove it forward in this one to like to like too much of a degree, you know. Also, I hear a bunch of people fucking. Oh, they're fighting over there. But yeah, like I feel like they really amped it up for this chapter, like a bit, like too much, you know. Like they should have threw in like a third DLC maybe, or a fourth DLC, and had the third one be more about or like have Natakis and Kassandra be in it a bit more or something, you know. Just to actually because like they didn't develop the relationship well enough to justify this ending to this chapter, right?
Can't leave my favorite customer waiting.
Also, I'm no baker, but I feel like from wheat to bread would take quite a while.
Here you go. Bread fresh from the oven and milk straight from the goat.
I'll see you sooner than I'd like to. This stuff won't last long.
Sometimes I think Elpidios keeps my whole business running.
It's very possible.
Return. Oh, there they are. I was like, return home with them. Where the fuck did he put them? So yeah, like I understand where people are coming from now about the annoyance in it. It's
Milk and bread.
You know, I don't really care.
Better get this home.
Like as I played the game, you know, Kassandra had relationships with whoever I thought was interesting enough that Kassandra might, you know, but it's still, yeah, but like I still understand where people are coming from. Like I said, they still overreacted greatly to it, but I don't know. Now Ubisoft did make a response to all the complaints, saying that they would fix it for the third one. But I don't know exactly how they can fix it from this without just like straight up killing Natakis at the beginning of it. Or, you know, whoever the female version of him is if you're playing Alexios. Like that's the only way I could think of them being like, all right, here you guys go fixed, and just straight up murdering him at the beginning. Because, yeah.
How is my Elpidios? How's my son?
He missed his mater.
And she missed him.
Promise me, Kassandra. This is our life. This is our home.
I chose this life to secure the bloodline. Okay, I'm gonna go with the top option.
Do you remember Macedonia?
Because the bottom option makes no sense.
I remember.
Because at no point in this DLC did they mention Natakis being a tainted
Home isn't a
one.
place. It's people. It's us. As long as we're together, we're home.
You know Elpidios? That's where your mater grew up. Kefalonia.
Right there. But it wasn't until I came here, until I met you, that I truly felt home.
Cleta and Fila on the beach that day, they couldn't escape their fate. It always ends in blood. My family ran for so long, but maybe some things can't be outrun.
Whatever storm rolls in, whatever Amorgis and the Order are planning, I swear to you, I swear to our son, I will keep us safe.
I mean, they've been pretty fucking quiet if you've
This
had
fight
time to
we
have a
with the
kid.
Order, this war, it's not going to be won in my lifetime. Or yours. Maybe I was foolish to think it could be. But fate does not define us. Our actions do. Our little Leonidas spoke his first word today.
What? I didn't hear.
That's not possible. What did he say?
Grand Pater. Or maybe he burped. It's hard to tell at his age. Who's my genius grandson? Who's just like his grandpater, Darius.
They really fucked up the audio for that baby, man. Like that. See, now here's another thing, right? Because like in my playthrough, all of Kassandra's family is still alive. But because this is a DLC, and it's not tied into the main game, and it obviously didn't register anything from the main game.
More beautiful than this. A simple life. Get word to Persia. Send the fleet. Send everyone.
By your command, Amorges.
Tell me Darius didn't recognize this prick. But yeah, like, since this, it was the same.
I'll see you soon, old friend.
Yeah. See, now, like, because this wasn't part of the main storyline, like her relationship, her having a kid and whatnot, because it was in the DLC, and because you could do the DLC at any point, we have both committed to keep secret our new home and lives, but we must do more than just survive. Boars have been sighted recently rummaging for food and dime, and the villagers could use a Mystios to help eradicate them. Return back home when you're done. I have planned a celebration with Natakis and Elphidios. Alright. So, multiple quests accepted? Really? Why multiple? And why did you unequip? Please tell me all of my shit is still... If I go there, and then I switch to here... Oh my god, you unequipped it all? You fucking pricks. Was this it? Yes, there it is with warrior abilities. Also, wait, is there a Master Artemis Spartan Warrior? That's it, equip set. Boom. I can't believe they fucking did that. Sword of Damocles was that one that I had. And then I had the big axe so that I could get the health restored thing. Alright. So yeah, like, because it wasn't part of the main game, because it didn't read anything from your decisions from the main game, because you could do it at any point, if you did that, like, I don't know if there's, like, I don't know if you have to progress a certain point in the main quest to unlock, like, the chapter 2 of the DLC. Because, like, this, doing this chapter at any point before you're done, at least the Odyssey part of your DLC with your family, makes no sense whatsoever. Like, literally 0 sense. And because of the way I played it, obviously, both of Kassandra's parents and her brother and her, I guess, stepbrother, I don't know how to really define Stentor. He's not really adopted, but he's not, I don't know, but he's kind of your brother. All of those people are still alive, and yet they haven't got to meet their child, even though after you beat the game, they become crew members. As soon as they did that, they eliminated them from anything from anything else. Like, as soon as I got them as crew members, I knew that they were not going to be a part of anything else, because it wouldn't have made sense. But what really doesn't make sense is that Kassandra, like Marini, whatever the fuck, I can never remember what Kassandra's dad's name is. Like, they don't get to meet their grandchild now. Like, you don't get to see that interaction, right? It's just Kassandra, Natakis, and Darius and the baby. And it makes no sense, because there's no way that Kassandra wouldn't have sent word. There's no way that they wouldn't know about their kid, right? So what is this? Wait for your legacy to continue, but yeah, kill boars. We'll go and maybe kill these guys while we're here. Because we still have a little bit of time left while I talk about this. So yeah, like, once again, like, this storyline is fine, but they needed to, extend it out a bit. Just throw in, like, a few more quests that have Kassandra and Natakis doing something with each other, right? Like, It doesn't have to be anything important. It doesn't have to be anything, like, it can be something very mundane. They just needed more quests, more stuff of them building their relationship. Because as it stands, their relationship made very little sense for how fast it progressed. And then also with that, because of what's happening, because, like, you know, now she has a kid and everything, they needed to tie it into the main story with your parents somehow. Like, with your family. Like, oh my, alright. Because, yeah, it makes very little sense that your family is not a part of this at all, right? Like, I get that, like, see, like, this is why I hate fighting boars. Fuck you. Like, I kind of understand why it is the way it is, but at the same time, it doesn't make any sense. Like from a gameplay perspective, or from a, you know, we had to make this into, like, this was a DLC perspective, it makes sense. But from an actual storytelling perspective, or even a logic perspective, it makes zero sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Because like I said before, the relationship progressed too fast, so they should have threw in a few more, like, they could, like I said, they could have just been super mundane quests. It didn't have to be anything important. It didn't, wow, my textures are not, there it is. It didn't have to be anything big or extravagant or even important. In fact, it would have been better if it wasn't something important. If it was just something, just her and Natakis doing something very mundane. You know, like, they go out to hunt deer. They go out, I actually, come to think of it, there may have been a part where they went out to hunt deer. But still, like, they needed more stuff like that, right? Where they could build their relationship. Because as it stands, it made very little sense. But if they had done that, like I said, people overreacted greatly with the forced into a relationship thing. Because, you know, it is their game. They are trying to tell the story. And I don't know how much the baby part of it is going to come into play. Because, like I said, I don't know. Maybe I missed it. But at no point did I... Because, like, Kassandra was like, I did this to secure the bloodline. But, which, I heard that part where it's like, oh, you just did it to secure the bloodline. Like, you have that option. And it's like, all right, that makes sense. Because that's why Kassandra and Alexios were born. Was to secure the bloodline. Because both Myrene and Pythagoras there had the ancient blood in it. I don't know what blood it is they have, but, you know, they were both from that bloodline, like the same bloodline as Ezio and Altair and all them, right? So that makes sense. But in this instance, they never said that Natakis had that bloodline. They never said that that was a part of his back, like a part of his ancestors was part of that bloodline. They never once brought it up. They never mentioned that. So being like, oh, I did this to secure the bloodline, it's like, that doesn't really hold, right? Because if all she was doing it for was to secure the bloodline, she wouldn't have it wouldn't have played out the way it did, right? Like, the way they played it out, even though they give you that option at the end, it's clear that they played it out with Kassandra has feelings for this guy, right? Like, that is 100% what they were going for. That's 100% what they did. And there was, like, even with the options I picked, there was no way around that. So it was like you were definitely 100% forced into a relationship with this. But there's still way more outrage than there ever needed to be. But I'm looking forward to the third chapter. If I had to guess, Ancients are going to steal the kid. Just to guess, they're going to need some reason for Kassandra. Like I said, they did say that they were going to fix the forced into a relationship thing in the third chapter in their statement. So I do have a feeling Natakis is going to be dead. And you're just going to have the baby. Or there's going to be a choice in it somewhere where you can tell Natakis to go fuck himself. But once again, the way this is played out, or the way that they wrote the rest of this, that's not going to make any sense whatsoever. So while I am looking forward to it, I highly doubt that I just can't see a good way to fix the forced relationship thing. Like, the best way, which sadly enough isn't all that great, that I can think of would be Natakis dies immediately. And I don't mean like a mission or two in. I mean like immediately. Like they come to steal the baby and Natakis dies during it. But we'll have to see how it plays out next week. Because I don't want to continue here because we're at the end of the DLC. In fact, we've technically done the first quest of the third DLC. So we'll see how it goes. But thanks everybody for watching. And I will see you next week with the third chapter.